started a recall of the 6 school board members that are really pushing this, that were involved in this list back in March. We launched it on May 8th. We collected 1,500 signatures on day 1. Last week, we collected another 1,500 signatures. So we're really making progress. Parents are taking time out of their day. They're at this all day, every day, getting signatures. They are fired up.
The fight against critical race theory picking up steam in the backyard of our nation's capital as concerned parents grow weary over a curriculum they increasingly consider a religion of division. Joining us now for a reaction to some of our top stories, we'll bring in our panel. Talk radio host Jason Rantz and radio show host and Fox News contributor Richard Fowler. Gentlemen, welcome.
Hello. Good to be here with you, Mike.
Critical race theory is a hot issue in many school systems right now. One big complaint I've heard is it divides our children based on their skin color.
It does, absolutely. I think part of the problem here is it is toxic in not only what it teaches, but how it treats people who dare to speak up and say, this is wrong, this is not what we should be teaching our kids. And the fact that some of the parents who are speaking up are getting bullied as a result actually makes that point. Built into critical race theory is this idea that any sort of defensiveness against this is an example of white supremacy. So they have created a system in which anyone who pushes back will be called a white supremacist, and by that very nature, it means it's going to bully people into silence. But the fact of the matter is, more people who speak up in groups pushing back against this stuff, it makes it harder for people to act on the other side to actually win those arguments. It's time to take back the curriculum that's being taught in our schools.
All right, let's play this clip, and Richard, I'll have you respond.
You're either an oppressor or you're privileged, right? So if you're a Christian, you're an oppressor. If you're non-Christian, you're privileged. If you're a light-skinned individual of one race, you're an oppressor. If you're the darker-skinned person of the same race, you're privileged. I mean, or you're oppressed.
Richard, your thoughts?
Oh, thanks for having me, Mike. Number one, I think there's this argument that's being used on the right around critical race theory without a clear understanding of what critical race theory actually is. Critical race theory is not something you actually see being taught until you're getting a master's degree or a PhD in sociology. What parents and what students and what teachers are asking for in the K-12 classrooms is for us to be educated about the truth in American history. Basically, we had slaves in this country. We treated them pretty terribly. There was a thing called Jim Crow. During Jim Crow, African Americans were lynched. They weren't allowed to vote. They weren't given their rights. We had a failed war on drugs that impacted black people badly. I don't understand what's wrong with teaching the truths about American history and what's so wrong about that when it's what actually happened in this country.
Jason?
Well, that's already being taught, though. I mean, that's already being taught what was just discussed.
No, it's not. No, but Jason, but that's not being taught.
Richard, are you claiming that we're not teaching about slavery? Are you teaching that kids are coming out of schools and they are slavery? What is that? I've never heard of this thing.
On the standard of learning exam in Virginia, there's a question that says, there's a question that's worded that African workers were brought over here. They weren't African workers. They were enslaved people. That means we're not teaching the curriculum correctly because that's not the truth. These people were brought in bondage.
Richard, there's not a single there is not a single history textbook that doesn't talk about slavery. Now, I think it's fair to say that we can nitpick on certain aspects of it. Hold on, Richard. I think it's fair to say
that's not the truth.
I think it's fair to say that we can go in and make some changes to make sure that we're highlighting aspects of our history that are incredibly important to talk about. But what is different is when we're talking about labeling people oppressors or oppressed, when we're talking about white supremacy as being simply characteristics that all white people have, that's not history. CRT is getting into our classrooms. We can pretend otherwise all we want. This is not about history. If it was about history, it wouldn't be controversial.
Name a classroom where they're teaching about critical race theory right now. Name one classroom where the teachers
all across Washington State, every single person across Washington State
Give me one
right
classroom or one lesson where they're saying that all white people are racist, because I haven't seen that anywhere, nor is there any evidence of that.
You can go to kcth.com. At the end of this, I will have the video up.
What teachers
there's video right now in the North Shore.
Once again, is the truth.
Okay, there was video that was shown last week by
Jim Crow.
Hold on, you asked the question. Let me answer the question, Richard. So right now, there are classrooms, including in the Seattle area, in which students are being shown a video saying that because they are white, they have privilege. Now, that privilege puts them at an advantage over others because of systemic racism. That is a cornerstone of critical race theory. That has nothing to do with history. That has nothing to do with slavery. If this was purely about showing our history, this would not be controversial. This is about shaming people and calling people out on the basis of their skin color.
Yeah, but
that's racist. That's wrong.
But Jason, when you condemn projects like the 1619 Project, which is just a history lesson on when slaves came to this country, and you label that as critical race theory, which it's not, it's just educating about the truth. It's not. It's history. When did slaves get to this country?
But that's the difference.
When did slaves get to this country?
When you frame history... But when you frame history around an opinion, that's no longer history. That's an opinion.
So what? It's an opinion that slaves got here.
Okay, guys, we got to run. We'll let you guys slug it out during the commercial break. Thanks so much. Nearly 2